To begin this project, you want to take two same-size pieces of fleece fabric and lay them down on top of one another so that all corners and all edges match up. You may find that you have a white piece of trim that contrasts the pattern on your blanket, and if you do, you can simply snip that off. Make sure your edges and your corners match up before you start cutting. And then you want to remove the corner pieces from the blanket. So I'm just starting with the corners nearest to me since I'm working on this edge first. And you want to cut roughly a 3 by 3 inch corner out. And this just begins the guideline that you'll continue down the length of the blanket to make these cuts. Continue making these 3-inch cuts, and each of the pieces should be roughly a 1/2 inch to 1 inch wide. It's just up to your personal preference. And you just continue all the way down the edge of the blanket. To begin tying, you want to take the bottom piece in your right hand, or your left hand if you're left-handed, and fold it over the top piece and make a knot. Then just do the same thing again to make it a double knot, and this will ensure that the ties do not come loose. Doing it this way will make it so that the opposite color shows depending which side of the blanket is facing out. And then you just repeat those steps all the way down the length of blanket that you're working on. Now this is just a second blanket I am making simultaneously, and I wanted to show you, sometimes you'll notice when you get on maybe the third or fourth edge that the blanket fabric overlaps. You can trim it off if you really want to, but you don't need to. You can just take the edges and realign them by grabbing the blanket and just flopping the fabric back so that the edges become lined up again, and then you'll just continue your cuts from there. That additional fabric will just work itself back into the blanket and you won't even notice. As the final piece ties up and becomes the corner, you can just stretch each side out to form the corner and you are done. Whether these fleece blankets are for yourself or, in my case, a gift for somebody else, they are the softest, warmest, loveliest little blankets, and they will last a long time. So stay cozy and enjoy!